Alright, continuing this cigarette crap. Yeah, sorry. So anyway, this new guy made a video, YouHadMeAtHayek, and Skeptical Heretic just made a joke video response to him complaining about New Jersey being classified as part of New England, which was, yeah, okay, whatever. So these people are too silly for words. So anyway, this guy makes a 14-minute video. I'm only 7 minutes into it, and my brain is just going, why am I doing this to myself? So I'll play a little bit of his video just to see what he says next. But I mean, it's all premised on his argument that the production cost of a pack of cigarettes is $4 and whatever, some cents. It's like, what the fuck, buddy? You know, and it's just like, yeah, I don't accept that premise. So your whole argument is crap because, yeah, that's a bullshit premise. So let's go back to this page again. So here's the average cost of a pack of cigarettes was 38 cents. The tax was 18 cents of the 38 cents, leaving 20 cents as the everybody's profit was here. Okay? The cost of making the cigarette, the cost of distributing the cigarette, the tobacco maker's profit, the retailer's profit. Everything was in there except for the tax. 20 cents. Alright? Now the same math here gives you $3.24. So his number of $4 and something cents is $1 higher than this number, which would make this number more like 2,000% inflation in the production cost of a cigarette, which is, in my opinion, idiotic. Okay? So I'm arguing for 300% inflation on production cost, which I think is reasonable because technology has made it cheaper to make cigarettes, not more expensive. Obviously, some things in the economy are more expensive, some things are cheaper. So anyway, this guy also links to the stupid CPI calculator for inflation, right? So you put in 20 cents in 1970 and that equals $1.21, which is 500% inflation. I would argue that that's a high number. I don't think, well, it's not, it's 600%. Yeah. So that's 600% inflation. I'd argue let's go back to 500% inflation, just make this price $1, right? So if you had $1 as the for-profit for everybody makes their profit off the dollar, and then you figure that the name brand cigarettes sell for $8 a pack, that's 800%. Right? Right. There's an 800% difference in the actual cost, what it should be, versus what it costs because of government intervention. So, and then even if you keep the $1.21 number, which I think is high, that's 600% inflation, which I think is really high. But anyway, if you keep that number, in New York, you're still talking about 1,000% inflation on the what it costs to make a profit selling a pack of cigarettes. So, you know, this argument is just, fuck you people and your 1,500% inflation bullshit. You're not getting it. There's a whole lot of other fees involved in this cigarette game, and you're just ignoring those, and that's sort of bullshit. So let's see what he says here.
Give or take. Same as in 1993. Let's look even further back, for no particular reason, to say 1970. Now the price of a pack of smokes in 1970 was, on average, 38 cents.
Cool.
The tax was 18 cents.
Cool.
So, back then, it was about half and half then as well. 18 over 38. How much is 18 over 38? 18 over 38. Yeah, 47% of the pack of cigarettes, the price of a pack of cigarettes went to the tax man. About, like, you know, the same as now. Now, if you're just looking at inflation in and of itself, general inflation caused by the increase of money in the monetary supply, then according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, from 1970 to now, pack of smokes should cost $2.29, and about, what's half of $2.29? 2.29 over 2, so, and it should be about $1.14 going to taxes, but we don't have that.
Yeah, so $1.14 going to taxes, but yeah, You just conceded that it should be $1.14 for a pack of cigarettes. And he's claiming a pack of cigarettes costs $4 and some cents to produce. So how do you get from $1.14 for the production cost of cigarettes to $4 and some cents for the production cost of cigarettes? So you haven't explained that 400% difference in your own video. So you're just right now conceding that a pack of cigarettes should cost $1.14 to produce, distribute, and make a profit off of, and yet it doesn't. How come?
We have a much bigger number. Now, part of this might be because the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and this is a thingy of me, the BLS typically underreports inflation.
Oh yeah, come on! Underreports inflation. Like I could buy a lawnmower in 1970 for like $100. I could buy a lawnmower right now for about $100. Yeah, no inflation there. So let's not pretend that yes, different commodities have different rates of inflation. And there's absolutely no reason to think that cigarette production has gotten horrendously more expensive. And exactly the opposite is the truth. The technology has gotten better. There's fewer hands-on employees. There's more mechanization, more machinery making the product. So it's just kind of bullshit to think this is going to be on the high end of the inflation calculator, rather the lower end of the calculation.
Caused by monetary stuff, because it's really hard to figure out the actual inflation rate based on the increase of the monetary supply.
Well, I don't think that matters anyway. What we're really talking about is how much fuel goes into the product and all that kind of crap. But again, you could use Coca-Cola example. You could use lots of different things as examples. And right now, those things are able to somehow be marketed and distributed for pennies. And somehow cigarettes, it costs, $2 just to somehow take the package to the retailer. I don't think it costs $2 to get the package from the plant to the retailer.
I and people like me think they underreport it. Other people might think they overreport it. But that's neither here nor there. We'll just go with the BLS for now. We don't get that $2.29 that the BLS would go. Even if we were saying that the BLS was underreporting it, it would be like $3 or $4, maybe $5 by monetary inflation. And even that's not as high as the average cost of a pack of smokes in the U.S. Now, of that the higher number, some of it is certainly taxes. Going back to New Jersey, the tax itself is larger than what general inflation is, but so is the retail. So what's going on here?
There we go.
Well, to answer this question, we'll look at another item. Let's look at gold. Does an ounce of gold follow this general inflation rule?
Well, I don't know.
No, ounce of gold.
Let's not bother with this. So he's still going to speculate that somehow the $4 production price is real. All right, and no, that's a fake. Okay, that's not a real price, and certainly it's part of my argument. The point is that whatever the cause, all right, the commodity does cost much more than it should. And a higher percentage of what it costs is taxes. So there's two factors that are screwing us over. I mean, obviously the initial cost is important because the tax is a percentage of the cost. So I mean, half, like I said, back then, 38 cents wasn't going to break you. But I mean, $7 or $8, which this number is, even by his own statement in New Jersey, this number is $7 or $8. So this differential goes way the fuck up. There's just no reason for there to be this kind of inflation, and it's all being caused because of the acceleration of this price. Okay, I mean this price, really, the production cost price is not this price anymore because of all the other crap tied onto it. So if you start off with an initial number that's higher, like 60 cents, then obviously your percentage is going to be a lot lower because you're starting off with something 3 times bigger. Well, whatever, it doesn't really matter. The point is that you're conceding, and your calculator concedes, your calculator confirms that the price of a pack of cigarettes for production, distribution, and profit should be $1.21. And I'd argue that's at a high end. That's at 600% inflation, which I don't think can be justified in the production of cigarettes. Alright, so enough of that. I'll go listen to the rest of his video, but I mean, like I said, the premise I don't accept, so his whole video is sort of a waste of time because I don't accept the premise. Alright, where's my Inmendum video page here? I must have used it up or something, so I'll have to go find it. Yeah, it's Inmendum videos, let's see. There it is, UnseenPerfidy. Let's play his stupid video. We'll play the beginning of it. I'm not doing 40 minutes. We'll just see how the beginning goes and whether it's worth watching. So, seriously, inflation alone defeats the idiot's arguments. Okay.
Howdy, everyone.
So, here's the inflation calculator again. Inflation. The production profit retail sale price of a pack of cigarettes minus taxes should be $1.21. At $8, that is 800%. It's pretty close to it. Close enough for my argument.
I am interrupting a Let's Play that I'm doing right now.
Wow.
Because Gary has...
Let's play what? That's pretty scary, right? Let's play... You know, what? A pantomime horse? Is that what you all get on your little pantomime horse suits and romp around playing pantomime horse? Oh, ugh, disgusting.
Made another response to me. Just came up several minutes ago. Let's hear it, shall we?
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun.
just to save time. I'm not
Just
gonna
waste the
play
time,
around
right?
this
So
video.
I'll jump ahead of my...
Oh, not going to bother to play my video. Not going to bother to play my...
Yeah, I'm not. I watched your video, you idiot, and I paraphrased your video. That's right, moron. There was no need to play it because you're loud, obnoxious, and moronic. I didn't play it in my video because you're disgusting, generally speaking. So anyway, we'll jump a little ahead, see if we get...
It's totally saved with my notes. For instance, I'll pull one up at random. 4. Point 20. Gary, quote, I think it's fair to argue that excessive taxation violates the Fifth Amendment. My notes, quote, no person shall be held to the answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger.
Oh, see, I don't know what he's doing here, but yeah, okay, whatever. You're going to argue again. I've made it clear. The Supreme Court decision is similarly situated, have to be taxed similarly. All right, I'm not arguing you can't tax vices. I'm arguing that you can't discriminatorily tax vices. You can't pick out one guy, persecute the fuck out of him, and leave the other guys untouched. That's the fucking law, shit for brain. And I argue that it's premised on the Fifth Amendment and maybe the 10th Amendment, maybe the 11th Amendment. That's what it's premised on, you shit for brain.
Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy.
Whatever.
$24 billion in 2006. www.cdc.gov/media/releases/2011/P10.
Yeah, well, the CDC is a propaganda website. So, again, it's just absolute nonsense to be pointing to the CDC regarding anything fair or balanced. They might as well be Fox News. It's a propaganda organization.
017_alcohol_consumption.html. Economic facts about U.S. tobacco production and use. http www.cdc.gov/tobacco/data/statistics/fact_sheets/economic.
What, people like to watch these videos of yours? What the fuck are you doing, retard?
/econ_facts/ I have all my notes, Gary. Why don't you have that fucking website still, Gary? Oh, because you never fucking linked any of your sources, because...
Well, whatever. I linked to the source, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, I don't remember what I did the search term. Obviously, I found search terms that didn't give me 4 million propaganda sites. So again, I'm saying if one of you assholes can come up with the source, your source isn't a source. The CDC is not a source of what it costs to produce a cigarette. I'm sorry. That's absolute crap as a source. The CDC is a propaganda organization. They declare everyone who dies of any pulmonary or heart-related disease, if they smoke cigarettes, they say cigarettes killed them. That's what kind of liar they are. They ignore fat jackasses. You could walk in, 400 pounds, obese, have a fucking heart attack on the table, and if you smoked a cigarette 20 years ago, they'll say you died of a smoking-related disease. That's the kind of cunt liars they are.
You made them up.
And they quoted $11, I think, for 1,000 cigarettes.
Oh, wow, Gary, I can just fucking make up a website, too. Well, Gary, the production cost of cigarettes is $100 bajillion. And 100 quadrillion baby.
Well, whatever. Again, you want to make jokes about it. Okay, I'm saying you give me a really honest website that's going to tell you what the real production cost of a cigarette would be in a free market. You find the data, I'll look at the data. All right, but going to the CDC and telling me I'm going to get the truth from the CDC is absolute bullshit. I mean, you can't get more propaganda.
Kittens have to be slaughtered to produce a single cigarette.
Well, whatever. I really don't want to go back and look at my old video, but I showed the damn fucking website on the video, alright? So I don't know. Maybe I can find it again? I don't know. But I'm not doing that, alright? I'm saying let's find some new website with new data.
Google it, Gary. Google it, Gary. It's fucking common knowledge, Gary.
Well, I don't need to Google it, jackass. I'll just use your little fucking calculator and say, how come a 20-cent pack of cigarettes has like 2,000% inflation instead of the reasonable 600 or 500% it should be? Why don't you explain that, fuckhead?
Because that's the level of shit you pull.
There's a quote here from Tara.
Let's jump ahead.
And $2 is $2.
$2 in 1970. $11.59 in 2011.
Yeah, you don't really need to do any of that calculator crap. It's just 600%, okay? You don't need a calculator to do 600%, do you?
No, Gary. Inflation.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay, no, retard. That doesn't add up, E. Okay? 1,500%. How come it's 1,500%? And the other guy making the video says the price is $4 and some cents. So that's to almost, obviously, 20 would go into anything over $4, at least 2,000. So it'd be 2,000% inflation on the production of a cigarette. How come? Why? Why? Cigarette Martians? Are Martians stealing our tobacco? What's the excuse for a 2,000% inflation on making a cigarette? Yeah, you don't have an answer. Jumping ahead.
Anti-nicotine American bigot. Why aren't you bringing that up, Gary? Why aren't you playing my video? Oh, it's because you're fucking wrong, and you know it. And you're a fucking coward, and you're not gonna fucking admit to what you said, and just be like, oh, I just made a simple math error.
Well, I'm sorry, I made a math error, okay? So, yeah, that's what happened. And even at the 6-cent price, even at the 6 cents per cigarette price, if you accept that, again, you're back to $1.20. And so how do you make that turn into... how does that turn into $8 a pack? It can't. There's no way to make it $8 a pack, is there? No, there isn't.
And that's what you're gonna fucking do, Gary, because you fucking lose. You are a fucking loser. You are a despicable, fucking, cowardly, craven, yellow-bellied, pathetic excuse for a man.
For profit in marketing.
No.
And that would give you a number of 60 cents a pack.
No, Gary, again, your link that you said was factual. 6 cents a cigarette. What, 20 cigarettes in a pack? That's at least fucking $1.20 a pack
Yeah, $1.20 a pack. Okay, let's see what you do with $1.20. Like I said, I think that's a high number, but let's see what you do with that.
Just for production costs.
Yeah, again, you're saying just for production costs, but your own calculator says otherwise. Okay, your own calculator at 600% inflation says they were making a profit at 20 cents a pack before, and so they should be able to make the same profit out of the higher 600% inflation price. And I say 600% is bogus and nonsense.
Gary. So what is it, Gary? You can fucking find a good source? You pointed that out as like the definitive proof that...
Yeah, I just said right in the video, I can't find a good source. That's right, I said right in the fucking video, will somebody who wants to be an obnoxious asshole on this subject find a good source? I don't think it costs $4 a pack to produce a cigarette, okay? I don't think it's anywhere close to that. I think the number from the Altera site of $16 per 1,000 cigarettes is probably pretty damn close to the fucking truth.
I'm wrong, so now you're just fucking Googling random shit, and you can't even provide a fucking link, Gary. Can't even provide a fucking link. Like, seriously. Here comes a mash cut. Oh, look! No link. No link, right?
I showed the websites. I don't need the link. And the other thing I went to was your own fucking website, okay? Your own CDC website, right there. That's what I went to. It's your site, right there. Your information. Liar. Asshole.
Way to do it. Like, I mean...
40
like,
minutes.
I don't think you know the number of sales of cigarettes in, say, high tax locations versus other locations. Like, what the...
Yeah, I'm just going by demographic information, okay? I mean, if there's only 500,000 people living in a state and there's 25 million in another state, it's likely the state with 25 million people in it smokes more cigarettes. Just seems logical to me. Asshole.
From a health perspective, because, well, they're really cheap and easy to produce, and they're quick. You don't need to prepare them. Like, how dumb are you, Gary?
Well, let's see what this point was.
So poor people can eat. Like, this is also why fatty foods are taxed as much as, you know, they probably should be.
Yeah, they are, and then they should be. Right, okay, yeah, that was close to not rational. Yeah, they're not taxed, retard.
A health perspective, because, well, they're really cheap.
Okay, so there you go. You're acknowledging that instead of letting us have an America with liberty, we should create this obnoxious mommy state, and it should tax people for what they eat and for what they smoke and for what they drink. Maybe we should also let, like, the victims of drunk drivers, I don't know why they're not allowed to do this, but why couldn't they just sue all the liquor companies? Right? They're hard victims. They should be able to sue. Oh yeah, that's right. That doesn't even work anymore because damage claims are limited to, 5 times actual damages, so you can't get any really good damages anymore. So yeah, the whole tobacco settlement was sort of a bad deal, isn't it? Because now the tobacco companies would be off so fucking easy because there wouldn't be any more of these punitive damage bullshit that was creating the huge giant settlements. So now they could sell for $1 million and it'd be done.
And easy to produce, and they're quick. You don't need to prepare them. Like, how dumb are...
Oh yeah, how dumb am I what? Do I think America should be a place where they tax people's liberty? No, I don't think it should be that kind of place. I think it's a place where we should respect each other's liberty and mind our own fucking business unless somebody else is creating a social liability. If you want to raise little puppies, little fat morons, that should be your choice. You should pay for your puppies, your dog, your cat, your kids, whatever your goldfish. That should be your entertainment. It should be your expense. All right? But if a liberty you enjoy in your house doesn't have anything to do with anybody else, then they should mind their own motherfucking cunt business. I mean, really. I mean, you can take this to truly evil extremes. And because it is a fact that some people have sexual practices that are more dangerous to one's health than other people's sexual practices. So should we oblige everybody to wear condoms and only have sex in the safe missionary position because it's healthier? I mean, how far do you want to go with this crap?
The settlement, and they've also been playing games since the 70s in terms of subsidies and taxes on growers.
Oh, subsidies and taxes. Wow, that's new, Gary. That's new.
No, it isn't new. It's been part of my argument from the very beginning. So, bullshit on that one. And like I said, I didn't even know that in 1970 we were already paying 18%, almost 50% of the cost of a cigarette was taxes already, which is obscene.
3 packs a day for over 7 months. I was highly addicted to cigarettes, and I quit. My parents used to smoke 2 packs a day.
Oh, that's not the subject. So again, this asshole is going to tell me what I should do, what my liberty should be. And if I don't want to quit smoking, he's going to tell me I have to quit smoking. And know what I'm going to say to you, fat fuck? Why don't you quit being a fat fuck? Why don't you get over that one, fat fuck? I mean, what's your fucking problem, fat fuck? How come you can't stop eating, fat fuck? I mean, really, that's the game you want to play? I enjoy smoking. I mean, maybe if I wanted to quit, then I could quit. But I guess I really don't want to quit smoking. That's why I'm kind of clinging to it with the e-cigarette. It's because I'm saying I don't really want a divorce from nicotine. I want you fuckers to mind your own fucking fat business, fuckhead. And until then, I'm going to be pretty obnoxious to anybody else's cry for liberty. So don't cry to me, Argentina, when somebody starts persecuting the fuck out of you.
They've gone in the buildings, and done whatever the fuck they do to detect the smoke particles, and surprise, surprise, fucking littered with the goddamn carcinogens.
Oh, whatever. That's just absolute nonsense. I mean, human beings lived with open fires in their houses for hundreds of years. They had oil lamps for hundreds of years. All of a sudden, you wussy pussies can't take a few particulates. You can take them when your fucking car, your SUV starts up every day. You can take those carcinogens somehow, but no, a cigarette 50 feet away, oh, it left a particle on the bush, and the particle's going to blow off the bush, and I'm going to breathe it in. I mean, this is like I said, this is just propaganda. So yeah, just go ahead and propagandize like the CDC. Lie. Just lie. Okay? I mean, that's all you're doing. You're just a liar. There's no... Cigarette smoking is absolutely no threat to people any distance away from the cigarette smoker. All the heavy particles fall to the ground almost immediately. All the ones that have any radioactive content. So this is just all a pile of shit. The ones that are going to give you cancer, you have to inhale because they're not the kind of particles that just float in the air. The stuff that you see in the air is the harmless shit. It's the stuff that falls out of the smoke that's the stuff that's going to give you cancer over time, you dumb fuck. It's the tar, the sticky, heavy molecules, retard. The tar in cigarettes is what kills people, you stupid fuck.
So, the fact that unless you fucking stay in your goddamn hovel, your little hobbit hole in fucking Hobbiton...
Yeah, this is why, exactly, why the fuck should I waste my time, right? This is all you got, okay? I mean, my habitat is such an old joke and such an irrelevant joke that who cares to waste my time listening to this shit? Why should I pay any attention to some asshole who doesn't have a better argument than you live in a shithole? Well, fuck you. Obviously, I don't give a fuck. Obviously.
Alcohol. With the Virginia Alcohol Beverage Control Agency, because it's state-owned, not only do I have to compete with the monopoly price, not only do I have to deal with the alcohol tax on top of the massive monopoly price. I also have...
Wait. So you're saying that you're a distributor of alcoholic beverage, and you're saying that somehow the tax is unfair because they don't have to pay it, or you have to pay it, or they pay it and you don't pay it? I mean, that just sounds kind of bogus. Sounds like you all have to pay that, right? All the consumers have to pay that, so you're not competing with that, are you? No. So that's sort of just complete bullshit.
Deal with the state state sales tax price on alcohol. So go fuck yourself, Gary.
Yeah, well, isn't that an important issue, though? Okay, so let's point out that in the state of New Jersey, one of the things I went to court about was the fact that they created a discriminatory clause in the internet exemption on sales tax, right? So there was an internet exemption on sales tax on all items except for cigarettes. So they isolated cigarettes out again for discriminatory treatment under the tax code, and this is in the state of New Jersey, where they also have a stipulation in the court decisions that similarly situated have to be taxed similarly. The exact same rhetoric is used in state Supreme Court cases, so they have the same burden as the federal government has to tax similarly people similarly. There's no reason why cigarettes should be taxed and alcohol not be taxed online. So that was another discrimination, an overt discrimination, an overt abuse of a minority vice. It's that simple. You want to keep pretending this isn't just about majority exploitation. It's clearly just about majority exploitation. If the majority of people smoke cigarettes, they wouldn't be doing this to themselves, and that's just a fact.
Again, like, a bottle of Macallan 12 in Virginia costs about $70, $60 to $70. A glass this filled of Macallan 12 at a bar.
Oh, wow, gee, you don't know the difference between a liquor store and a bar? You don't know the difference? Like, one of them makes money selling bottles, and one of them makes money creating a heated environment where people go to enjoy, and they spend hours in their establishment, and the establishment has to somehow pay the bills, pay for the electricity, pay for the heat, pay for the lighting, pay for all that crap. You don't understand the difference between a restaurant and a grocery store? Anyway, never mind. We're done, I think. Yeah, we've gone our half hour. So anyway, yeah, I don't think we have a reasonable argument here from the new guy. Okay, this guy. Sorry, your $4 number ain't gonna fly with me, and it's totally inconsistent with your own CPI calculator, and you noticed that, and you don't really have an explanation for that so far. Well, I'll jump ahead a little bit, see if he says anything.
Cigarettes, like gold, are on the upper end of that. They're more...
Yeah, right. So somehow he's arguing that cigarettes are somehow gold and tobacco are somehow similar items, that people have bought tobacco and have it, in the back room, hoarding it somewhere. No, that wouldn't be possible. How could tobacco possibly go way, 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 way up in price when the problem tobacco growers were actually having is there was too many people growing it because it was such a profitable crop. Yeah, and so they actually had to limit the number of people growing it to be able to boost the price up because so many growers wanted to grow it.
More expensive than general inflation would dictate.
Yeah, well, that's just a
And that's
lie.
not just because of taxes, because the tax on a cigarette is less than half that cigarette's retail value. And it has been for quite some time.
Well, that's by your argument. Again, so that you're just saying there's 200%, a 2,000% increase in the cost of producing a cigarette. 2,000% inflation in making cigarettes. And you haven't explained to me the tobacco blight or how all the machines blew up or how there's any excuse whatsoever for cigarettes to get more expensive, and there's every reason for them to get cheaper because of technology. So, sorry, fail.
Cigarettes, alcohol, tobacco, I already said tobacco, gasoline. It's the price you pay for living in I almost said New England.
No, it's the price you pay for living with fascists, unprincipled fascists. Okay, again, explain to me how this vice isn't taxed the way it is merely because it's a minority vice and it has no political representation. Neither the Democrats or the Republicans have any interest in protecting the rights of this particular minority, and therefore they're going to get exploited. They are not segregated, they're not in little bastions or pockets of power, okay? They're not even like blacks. At least blacks get some representation because they're isolated and segregated, and so they have some chance of having representation in Congress. Cigarette smokers have no hope of gaining representation because they're a small minority in every single voting district. So the issue will never be represented, their rights will never be protected, and it's just the fucking majority violating the constitutional principles, violating the exact stated intent of the tax code, violating Supreme Court decisions, and just being a malicious, nasty, motherfucking exploitinous bigot. That's what the majority has done. They're acting out of bigotry and convenience. It is convenient to exploit people who can't fight back, and that's all they're doing. They're enslaving cigarette smokers to their desire to give the richest people in the world tax cuts. And that's all they're doing, and you won't admit the simple fucking fact. It's just based on exploitation and bigotry because the majority of people are unprincipled motherfucking cunts. They don't deserve America. It's plain and simple. Most Americans don't deserve to live in America. They don't deserve the Constitution. They don't deserve the rights dictated in it because they have no respect for them fundamentally. They will, when they have the opportunity, take complete advantage. They will rape and pillage. You just have to open the door and they'll walk right the fuck through it. They have absolutely no principles, and that's the fact, and that's why the cigarette tax exists, is because you people are all scumbags.
England. Somebody I know would kick my butt if I said New Jersey was New England. So, Yankee land.
Whatever.
So there you have it, YouTube. The price of cigarettes have gone up, and the taxes on cigarettes have increased. Cigarettes in New Jersey are taxed at about 92% of the value of cigarettes.
Well, whatever. You're just not on the subject. The point is they're taxed nowhere consistently with other similarly situated vices. Vices that cause similar destruction to personal health. And there's certainly other vices like your alcohol, that do directly that kill little children. Cigarettes don't kill children. Cigarettes don't kill people who have nothing to do with cigarettes. Cigarettes kill people associated with cigarettes, and they usually kill them after they've paid their bills, after they've paid their Social Security. So fat and alcohol, okay, when you decide to proportionally tax those, then you can have an argument with me. But until you proportionally tax those items, in my opinion, you're violating the law. And you should just point out that they're violating constitutional principle. Similarly situated should be taxed similarly.
Sucks. Don't get me wrong. It sucks. The nominal increase in taxes since 1970 in New Jersey is like around 1,000%. But the nominal increase in cigarette prices since 1970 is like 2,100%, which means that the majority of the price increase in New Jersey comes not from the tax on cigarettes, but the price of manufacturing plus the profits taken by cigarette companies and the retailers. So, due to the effects of inflation, specific inflation to cigarettes in this case, not the general inflation due to the increase in the monetary.
Whatever. Right. The special relativity that exists around cigarettes. So we're back to quantum inflation. The photons around cigarettes have somehow randomly made cigarettes 3 times more vulnerable to inflation. So instead of 600% inflation, they've experienced 2,000% inflation. Yeah, that sounds so fucking logical. No, it sounds like a big rationalization.
That inflation, that general inflation, that monetary inflation, that price inflation into account is someone who basically you should never, ever listen to about anything that has to do with economics, ever.
Yeah, because he's not a dirty, stinking, shitbag capitalist like you? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because he understands that workers produce value, not stupid cunts.
Because this person doesn't know anything about economics.
Yeah, well, I know that your economy is going to crash and burn. So I know that much about economics, that you fucking all, just as you've sold out cigarette smokers, you've sold out the future. You've borrowed money they can't pay back, and you fuck them in the ass. So you could have your little whatever, your paper shredder and your beep 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 machine and your other little bop 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 machine over there. Yep. Fail. And you've done it in an atmosphere where you gave the richest people in the world preposterous tax cuts so you could exploit the fuck out of cigarette smokers. Yeah. I'm up enough on economics to know what selfish fucks are. And I know what selfish fuckery looks like. And the entire economy and the government actions are all based on selfish fuckery. So, whatever. Fuck you too, jackass. Oh, I should have just left it at that. Yeah. Fuck you too, jackass. Don't listen to this guy. He's retarded. He's probably a Muslim too. He looks a little Muslim. Probably a freedom hater. Ooh, be afraid. He's a freedom hater. Ooh, hates our freedom. Hates our liberty. Blah. Okay, anyway, enough. So, till next time, and such. Oh, I went way over the half hour now. Fuck. Alright, well, you'll just have to live with it. There's 2 videos in one. Two, for the price of one.